Good afternoon, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great Monday, start of the week. Today, I wanted to do a video kind of based off a comment that I had probably about a week ago. It was basically what's going to happen to your investment when nothing happens. Gold, silver, here you are buying this. Let's just hypothetically say the dollar don't collapse. Let's just say we don't go into any SHTF scenario. Blank hit the fan, for those of you that don't know what that means. What's going to happen to your investment if things just keep going along in a positive direction? Are you going to admit that you're wrong about the whole gold and silver thing? So this is an interesting comment because I've heard this before. I've heard this before from friends. I've heard this before from people that watch the channel, some subscribers, but keep in mind this channel has not always been centered around gold and silver. So anybody that subscribes to the channel, I'm thankful for. Some people have subscribed to the channel because of traveling videos that I've did in the past, cooking videos that I do once in a while, gold, silver, economy, prepping, gardening, soon possibly van life, a few different things. And, you know, I got to answer this in the right way. Even a loved one of mine said, when are you going to wake up and realize that this is not, none of this is going to go the way you think it's going to go? The dollar is the king, and it will always be on top. And this came from a loved one. And, you know, when am I going to wake up and admit that I'm wrong and nothing bad is going to happen? So let's take this comment exactly the way it was. What happens to gold and silver if nothing happens? Nothing bad happens. We just continue on the path that we're on. So let's take the last 20 years for a minute. 20 years ago, gold was $400. Silver was $5. Due to the good times, I guess you could say, the government doing their normal everyday thing, nothing really bad happening, what do? We continue to print money. And, before I get going too far into this, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of this video, this topic, your thoughts. If your thoughts differ from mine, go ahead and leave a comment. I'm really open to anybody's opinions and thought process on this. And also, if you're not a member and you'd like to become a member, you can click the join button down below for only $1.99 a month. That money helps out the channel. Plus, you get a lot of cool perks for being a member. So with that being said, let's continue on, though, with the video. You know, you look at what's been happening with government, we'll say, and government spending. The debt has skyrocketed. Gold and silver has gone up. I mean, even though, you know, people think, the dollar's been doing good, and you know, I'm not going to lie, the dollar is holding up very well right now, but it doesn't mean that gold and silver won't go up. Just because the dollar doesn't collapse or fall does not mean that gold and silver won't go up. You know, I invest in gold and silver for a few different reasons. So we'll talk about some of the real quick, the long shot things, and then we'll get into the, you know, positive things, I guess you could say. The long shot thing is a full dollar collapse. The dollar becomes absolutely worthless, and nobody wants fiat currency. Everybody wants bullets, food, medical supplies, gold, silver. You know, then the basic tradable items, the things people want. And maybe weapons. We'll put weapons on that list too. You know, that's a full collapse. You know, there won't really necessarily be a price on gold and silver. Why? because there's nothing to price it in. You're not going to be pricing it in dollars if the dollar collapses, because the dollar will literally be worthless. You could have $1 million in your bank account. It will be worthless. You could have $1 million under your mattress. If there's no more United States of America, it will be worthless. Now, that's a long shot that will happen that way. Do I think the dollar will continue to lose value? Absolutely, as it has been. What I actually think has the best chance of happening is, A, we go to war, which is a scary thought, that we would go to war with a group of countries or a major country. Maybe that could be a specific one. Maybe that could be a group of countries like the BRICS current countries. If that happens, anytime you go to war, precious metals become valuable in the sense that people want to put money into them, because what they don't want to hold is stocks. Now, some people might say, oh, no, I'd want to hold stocks. I'd want to hold Raytheon, Boeing, your weapons stocks. And those stocks do generally well during war times. However, a lot of average everyday people will want to put their money, I believe, into gold and silver. It's a safe haven. If anything bad happens and the U.S. just totally lost a war, then essentially the U.S. dollar would be kind of irrelevant. But let's just say now, on the flip side, we don't go to war. Let's say we just continue printing. Here we are now. We have an unlimited no debt ceiling in place right now. So there's no debt ceiling in place, but yet look what's going on. We're about ready to go to another shutdown. I got another government shutdown. I know some people will say it's not going to amount to nothing. And maybe they're right. Maybe it will just be a temporary shutdown and it won't amount to nothing, just like other shutdowns. However, one of these days we're going to have a shutdown and countries around the world are just going to say enough's enough. I don't want to invest in your currency anymore. We're worried about the direction that your country's going. We're worried about your politicians not being able to get along whatsoever. And literally, we're one day away all the time, it seems like, from some sort of a shutdown. When that happens, when other countries slow down on investing in the U.S. dollar or the United States Treasury bonds, it essentially makes our money worth less. Why? Because they're no longer buying up what's propping up the dollar. And as that continues to happen, the dollar essentially loses value. Some people will say that the dollar has to go down from here. I'm not going to say I know 100% the dollar will go down tomorrow, but I am saying that essentially, it doesn't look good that we can't have our politicians getting along. We've got different leaders in this country trying to arrest other leaders in this country, whether that's past presidents, whether that's current presidents. There's a lot going on in that doesn't make us look like we really have our essentially shit together. And that's a scary thing. And a lot of people don't want to invest in a country that they perceive as weakening or losing power. And a lot of people may or may not know this, but whenever a currency, a world reserve currency, swaps out, it usually ends in some kind of a power struggle. And I believe there is a power struggle on the near horizon. A lot of people can't envision the United States in any kind of a war because they think that, there's no one that can essentially touch us. However, we can be hurt. We have an Achilles heel like everybody. It's probably not military. I don't think another country is going to sweep in and try to steamroll over the United States. I think you'd have so much of an uprising of just the citizens, let alone the military, to deal with, that I don't think that would happen. However, I believe our Achilles heel is the dollar. Our Achilles heel is divide us from within and we'll essentially burn ourselves down. And we've seen this in a lot of the recent protests that kind of gone wild, the, different events where events that we've lost control of. And I think that that is kind of what other countries want to happen. They want to see us fall apart from within. One of the other things that I think a lot of people don't realize when it comes to gold and silver is to pull this out of the ground, it has a cost. And that cost is usually labor, materials, parts, energy. There's a huge energy cost that goes with pulling silver out of the ground. It takes a lot of oil, diesel, gasoline to get this from point A to point B. That cost, if people stopped buying it, I mean, they wouldn't have probably the money to continue to pull it out of the ground. They wouldn't need to pull it out of the ground if nobody was buying it. But people will continue to buy it up. And a lot of it gets used for, demand and basically manufacturing. And when you have that happening, essentially they're going to have to keep pulling it out of the ground. So now another thing to really consider is green energy. What's going to happen if we continue to push down the path that we're on and try to go green? I mean, if we continue to go down this path, we're going to need a whole lot more silver. We're going to need a whole lot more copper. We're going to need a whole lot more resources. And here's the thing. Silver is getting harder and harder to come out of the ground. I don't care when someone tells me it only costs X amount of dollars to manufacture. A lot of them are repeating an old video that they've seen. Maybe the video got posted 10 years ago, and these are not new studies. I've heard arguments, we're going to go to space and we're going to mine it and bring it back down. You ain't going to do that at $25 an ounce. I mean, we're not going to go to space, get a rocket, go up there, bring drilling equipment, try to capture some meteor or some asteroid and have it just circle the world while we mine it at $25 an ounce. And realistically, do you think then it would come down? I mean, if it comes down too low, then they're definitely not going to be able to mine it. And ultimately, I don't think it can come down. Right now, we're in an amazing consolidation phase. And what you see happening in a lot of consolidation phases, for people that don't know, you have basically the swings closing in. And what I mean by that is people slow down on buying, people slow down on selling, and everybody's stuck in the middle and they're just watching it. And we're like you see now, we're not seeing no big swings. We're not seeing $1, $2 swings daily on silver or gold. Gold, I guess you can see a dollar swing because that ain't really nothing. But with silver, you're not going to see any big percentage moves until it starts moving upward. I do think that's going to happen. I think next month is the month that we're set to start moving up again. I know some people will say, well, you thought it was going to go up sooner. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, no, I didn't think it was going to go up yet. I thought it would have gone up sooner. We have the summer. Everybody knows that summertime, silver does not usually do very well. We did see it go up, though. We've seen it go up from 22, and here it is now, 23.50, I think. So there's a lot of room still for it to go up. I think it's going to go up, and I think when it does break out of that consolidation phase, that's going to be it. We're going to see it go up. Now, so this idea of I'm buying this and it's not going to go anywhere, and if sunshine and rainbows continue, we're going to just see silver lose its value. I'm not convinced that it can lose its value. There's too many people that are invested in it now, and they're going to keep trying to gather it up, and the strong hands are going to get stronger and the weak hands are going to get weaker. So with that being said, I hope that answered that question. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you're subscribed, and I hope you leave me a comment. A thumbs up always helps, and I will see you guys next time on T-Square Talk. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.